And here we are back again at Tai Chi For You. Thank you, everybody, for continuing to watch, to support the show, to send in any questions or comments, suggestions. I do read them all, and we're going to kind of make tonight's show maybe a little bit of I guess, sort of a combination of everything that I've learned from you guys. So, again, we're all students, so we're all learning. There's no way everybody knows everything there is about Tai Chi or really anything in general. If something new always comes up or someone looks at something differently. And that's how it is when I'm teaching the Tai Chi. I'm open-minded, and really some of the suggestions and comments are amazing that I get, and the feedback on how when you guys do this on a consistent or fairly consistent level. I know it's tough to make it every day something you do, but if you get to that point, that's when you're really going to get that aha moment that I've talked about before, where it's just something clicks inside you and you're able to get to that next level. So whatever the next level, again, whatever that level is for you, you'll feel it. I can't teach it, I can guide, and that's hopefully what I'm doing, is guiding everybody along, and you're working at your own pace. Practice and just be a little bit better than you were the day before or your last practice. So let's think about beginning. Grab some liquid. I love the sound of this one. Yeah. And make just a little bit of room. You don't need too much room. We're going to do the different things that we do. The Tai Chi, you do need to spread out a little bit and have some front space and back space and side space. But the Qigong is really on a one square, 2 square feet, whatever. But that's all you need to do the Qigong portion that we do every week. So let's get up, and we begin, and we bow in, and we just bow in to acknowledge that we're leaving all the garbage of the day and the week behind us, and we're coming in to learn or just be open-minded to learning something. So, everybody just relax. That's one of the hardest things to do, and when I've gone to different workshops and seminars, and you hear the instructors, it's relax. I would say that's probably the most popular word that they say, or most of them anyway, when if you can't relax, you can't get to the next step, because you're always either just too tense or you're not. You can be relaxed in the body but not the mind, and vice versa. So it's really a nice way to just, when I say relax, it's relax the body, relax the mind. And remember, we have the energetic body as well as the physical body and the conscious and the subconscious mind. So relax and think about all that already. And let's begin by just some gentle, this is called ringing the temple bell. For those of you that might be brand new or have only seen 1 or 2 shows. And this is a nice way just to gently warm up the body. What we're doing is waking up the chi or the energy, or just think about just getting the blood flowing. And we have the principal idea of 70-30, so meaning basically we're twisting 70%. We're not overdoing anything at this point. And we're also doing some nice breathing in, long, slow, deep breaths. We'll talk about that in a moment as well. Couple variations on this one. You can go up bring the heel off the floor. But again, don't overdo it. You can get a little bit more of a twist this way, as well as some of the leg stretching. You can also just stay centered and get the core engaged. I'm not saying overdo anything, but feel that engagement of the core, and just, if you can go a little bit harder, that's fine. If you bruise easy, don't worry about it. You can go up to the arms, the shoulders. Again, I'm getting the back, the sides, and we'll finish off with 3, 2, 1. Good. And then the shaking out is very important. Again, we want to keep things moving. The other one is just bouncing. Bouncing is very important. It moves the lymphatic system in the body. So we just gently bounce. Don't overdo it. And then on the last one that you do, you bring it up a little bit more and drop. So it's bounce, 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 bounce. Bounce, 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 bounce. One more. Bounce, 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 bounce. Drop. Good. Another warm up. Let's do with it just sort of a wrist roll. And if you want to use some music therapy, you can have that playing. If you like any certain sense, it's aromatherapy. You could have something going that disperses that scent. Lavender or orange is nice. You can do that. And then reverse that move. And do it 3, 2, 1. Good. And let's just get the fingers warmed up a little bit. If you have a different one that you do, maybe you were taught at another, they call them dojos or a gym, or maybe you took piano or golf lessons and they showed you a warm-up exercise. Practice that one. Just roll the fingers, roll the wrists, and eventually get the elbows involved. So everything's sort of getting, as Tom Brady would say, lubed up, loosened up. He's doing something right, that guy. He's staying in good shape. Actually, his book, he mentions Tai Chi as a form of exercise. I think it's either page 21 or 38. So I was impressed with that. And someone told me that when they were living up here, it was like someone they knew that knew somebody that his wife was taking some Tai Chi classes with. So she probably brought that into him and, Tom, you need to do this. So anybody can learn Tai Chi. There we go, loosened up, and just shake that out a little bit. Now we do our warm up. It's a sort of a head to toe type exercise. So we just keep the hands on the chest, firm, nothing, again, overdo anything. And just gently look up and then tuck the chin in. So it's slow and controlled, just like the Tai Chi movement itself and the form. But these are just some basic warm-ups. Nice controlled breath in and out. And we can also do some side to side. And these mics pick up the Rice Krispie crackling, that's fine. So it's just side, center, side, center. Good. And then drop down a little bit more and we'll do some shoulder rolls. So we're going to do both directions. So don't worry about if you're not following me and you started out in the opposite direction. We're just rolling the shoulders, but we're not overdoing it. Good. And then get ready to reverse direction on that. And that's the breathing. Just deep. And you don't have to worry about if it's, in the nose, out the mouth, whatever. You just want to breathe in, expand the lungs. Good. Drop down into the hips. And just roll them. But break it down, make it simple for yourself. A lot of these moves, maybe you've never done before, you haven't done in a long, long time. It's to the back, to the side, out front, to the side, to the back. And then when you're ready, we'll do a few in the opposite direction of what you were doing. Hope everybody had a good week. It was, we had some crazy weather. It's New England up here. What was the one I saw? Don't put the sweatshirt away. Keep it in the car. You might need it in between the 90 degrees and 50 degrees weather that we have. So, good. Now let's drop down to the next joint. We'll do some knee warm-ups. So the pressure on the knees is just light. Just the hands are just going to stay on the kneecap. I'm dropping down, I'm bending the knees, and we're just circling. And do what you can with this, all right? It takes a while. And it's going to take a few snap, crackle, pops here too, probably. But I'm still engaging that core, and I'm elongating that spine as well. Keeping the head up. 3, 2, 1, and reverse your direction. So I'm dropping down. It's almost, I'm wondering if hockey players or goalies in particular, they have to have a lot of loose movement. And this would be good to do for them. Alrighty. The next one, let's drop down into the ankles. And all these you can do, or most of them, if you need support. We're just rolling the foot. Good. And then take it in the opposite direction. Just like that. And the other side as well. And the variation to this one is you could be off the ground and do some circling in both directions. I guess you could also try the heel dorsiflex extension, just like that as well. Good. All right. Let's talk briefly about the breathing. I've mentioned it a few times. Let's break it down. We think that's what the lungs do, which, okay, lungs, you think breath. But there's a muscle down here, a diaphragm muscle. That's doing the work as well. That's pulling down. So again, you're engaging that muscle, you're engaging the core, everything around it. So that pulls down, which allows more space, more air to come into the lungs. So try this, put a hand on the stomach and a hand up here on the chest. And without thinking about or overthinking, just take a breath in and a breath out a few times. Just breathe normal. And if you notice, we as Americans, most of us, shallow breathe. We're just filling, or not even filling. There's a lot of stale air still not circulating out, but we're shallow breathing up here. So now what I want you to do is have the intention, visualize that diaphragm muscle pulling down. So what that is going to do is actually come out. So even though you got a firm push in on your stomach, when you take that breath in, feel the I guess below the rib cage expand out. Now exhale. And breathe in. Now you can feel the upper. Exhale and release on both. So let's do that again. Firm hand on the stomach area. Hand up on the chest and just breathe in. Exhale. Now you can hold and squeeze that, squeezing, getting that stale air out. Now when you breathe in, upper, filling the lungs with that fresh air, and exhale, and letting both just relax. That one, it's again, it's that mindset. It's a little bit more difficult to do, and you might get dizzy doing it as well. So take it slow, improve on it, practice that. So when we're doing the moves, feel where that air is filling up the entire body, because it travels through and how it exchanges, and then the oxygen gets into the blood and all that. So just be aware, I guess, a little bit on how the body functions, and you can get blown away taking a class in that and just learning about that, learning about how the body balances, how the body digests food. So all these topics we can have a discussion on maybe sometime. If you guys are interested, let me know. We'll talk about how to fuel the body with, I guess, good thoughts as well. So you have, your energy from food, but you also need sleep. We found that out. We need fresh air, and we need a good positive attitude. So we have that again, all this is helps with learning Tai Chi, because there's another side to it, that it's an internal martial art. So there is when I say martial art, don't always think of fighting. Maybe think of defending yourself. People take these self-defense classes, or women self-defense classes, and they're learning some of the techniques and just the physics of weight shifting and all that. So we learn all that with the Tai Chi, and as a basic foundation. And once you have that, you can take it and expand. Just if you have a musical background in whatever, singing, then you might be able to take that knowledge and apply it towards learning maybe guitar, or you got guitar background and you want to use that knowledge and that musical, the basic of reading music and understanding, and bring it towards maybe a keyboard, something like that. So we build on the basics. So let's get some basics of the Tai Chi. And the first one is the 70-30 that we talked about. And that's the idea of we're going to apply it to the shifting the weight. So we're going from one side to the other. And again, it's not about speed or how many you can do in a minute, but there's a lot to this move where I'm incorporating the breath, I'm incorporating posture, and there's a mindset to this as well. Visualize, if this helps, maybe like a pitcher or a vessel of water. We're pouring that water and it's filling up this side. And then it empties and fills up this side. You might hear someone talk about it being a heavy foot, which is the full one, and the light foot. And then it shifts. And I'm keeping my shoulders relaxed, the elbows, the wrists, the fingertips. We want that energy to be flowing. We don't want any blocks. So we just finish up. Let's do 3, 2, 1. Now build on this. Keep going and add the turning the body. And if you notice, the body turns, the hands, the arms move because the torso, the body's moving. I'm not lifting my arm and coming across. I'm not doing this. And again, if you're new at it, I've seen people, and I try not to correct them with every move. They're doing something. They're moving. Moving is medication. So keep that in mind. If you get to the point, maybe you're showing somebody some of the moves that you've practiced, and they're not doing it just the way you are. It's a learning curve. But just shift that weight and turn the body. You might come up and down a little bit, drop into it. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, just shake that out a little bit. So when we talk about energy, we talk about chi. The body likes to move in circles. Energy likes to move in circles. And you could find some correlation with things from the Eastern culture and Western culture where it's maybe said differently, but it's the same result. Just like when we talk about power centers, we talk about this lower one, that Dantian. That is the energy center that is you connecting to yourself. And we might call it in the West like our gut feeling, or it's also sort of the center of gravity, really. If I was able to balance you on a stick, that would be the perfect point to balance you on. So to find it, remember we find our belly button and we measure down. And this is how they do it with acupuncture. They measure, and they should use your measurement, your finger. So it's your 3 fingers, your belly button, measure down, and then we visualize the thickness of 2 fingers, the width of it only inward. And that's that Dantian, that's that power center, that's that gut feeling, that's you connecting to yourself, where you want to trust yourself, where you have that second thought about, oh, should I, and again, I always say, cross the street. Or I've had it happen a lot of times where you're driving on the highway and you want to just change the lane. Well, something says, wait a second, that you're not in a rush, and sure enough, there's that blind spot in the mirror, and a car or a truck goes by you, and you're like, glad I didn't go into that lane right away. What was that? That was you connecting to yourself, maybe? It's a lot of things, but I kind of tend, it's me trusting my instinct, my gut feeling. And then the energy moves up into the heart center, and we've talked about this before. This is the heart center, and this is what is used to connect to others. So whether you're meeting somebody, and yeah, there might be eye contact, or a hand on the shoulder, or a handshake, something like that. But there's something connecting heart to heart, and you get other cultures and situations where people talk about somebody else and they're connecting, they're explaining, and they just, that was just wonderful of that person to do that, whatever it was, give up their parking spot, or there you go, whatever it is, people just, that was great, and that's their happiness, or they're connecting to that other person. And then we move up into the third power center or wisdom center. Don't get hung up on the names. Yoga is the third eye. So there's different names for these centers or chakras or whatever you want to put to it. It's your definition. It's how you relate to it with your body and how you relate to other people and whatever. So this one is you connecting to, and I use the word source. It could be universe, the angels, God, whatever is out there that you want to ask for guidance. And you see, again, you see it in the movies and on the street, people, what should I do? And they put their hands on their head. They're connecting to that power center, that inner knowledge or energy, and they're asking for the guidance on it. So, what should I do? It's like, why me? And there's that antenna happening, connecting. So those are the three basic power centers that I want you to keep in the back of your mind. They're there, they're working, whether you believe in them or feel them or realize that they're there. They've been there all along for you, okay? So, now where was I going with that? Take a drink of water. That's good, because you can get wound up in talking and not demonstrating enough. But I guess I just want to demonstrate or talk about what it is we're demonstrating. So, let's continue on with some of the basic warm-ups that we've been doing, where we just circle the arms, and it's a full circle, or we visualize maybe a basketball size beach ball. Everybody going to the beach now. Circle around. And we're doing that breathing. Then we're going to slowly get the palms facing upward and start the rotation smaller, and it's baseball size. So those are the two large and small circles that we do. And we're going to reverse that. So hit palms are down, and we'll reverse and do the larger. This is one way to get the shoulders relaxed. There's a nice breath in, breath out, with the palms facing up now. And we circle, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. And now let's go to the open and close. Open and close. Just like that. And then up and down. So I'm reaching up, and you could use some visualization of maybe you're at the gym where you reach up and you grab onto that bar and you pull down that cable pull, I guess it's called. Reach up, pull down. So feel that little weight resistance of pulling that down, pulling it down. Now visualize we're going to push that weight up. So we're pushing up and just control down. We're pushing up. And we're pushing up. One more. And we're pushing up. Good. And just shake that out a little bit. Let's do our 500 claps. For those of you that are new, the 500 clap move, a clap, what they consider a clap is more of a tapping, and we make this cupping like this because there's a power center here as well. And we're visualizing we're packing the chi, or packing that power up the arm, we go up the outside of the arm, and then we go down on the inside of the arm. And again, if you want to just think of it as getting the blood flowing, or, you know, loosening up some tendons or whatever. You don't have to think of it as energy if that's not your thing. But you want to wake it up. And then we do both sides. So it's up the outside of the arm to the shoulder, and then down the inside of the arm. So it's up the outside of the arm and down. And if you're new and you're not sure, you haven't seen this much, and you bruise easy or whatever it is, you don't want to feel like tapping, you can brush and down. So it's the same movement. Brush up the outside, brush down the inside. But for those of you that have done it a while and you really want to pack the chi and wake up things, and you know you're going to start, working out with some weights, just do this as a warm-up before you hit the weights. Don't even have to do Tai Chi, but do some warm-ups just like this. Good. And then down into the legs, where we start on the outside of the leg. And we just gently go down, bend the knees a little bit, start folding down the back, come around the knees, down around the ankles, up the inside of the leg. So it's down the outside of the leg, and then come up the inside of the leg. If you're having trouble getting down to the ankle, use a prop. Have a chair or something, table that's solid. So when you're going down, it's a little bit easier maybe for you to get to the ankle. The ankle is a longevity point with the acupressure, or again, the brushing technique as well. If you want to be a little bit more advanced, try doing the balancing. Yeah. And use your good leg if you have a good leg. And come up the outside. Very good. All right, just bounce and shake. Get that going a little bit. Let's move to the back, where we're just warming up that belt area right along this section right here. The kidneys are there, so you don't want to be beating on the kidneys. You want to just wake them up. However, just gently, just like that. And then bring it around and start on but you can go lower stomach, sides, just like that. Nice breath in, breath out. And then come up the center and right just under the clavicles. Oh, there's the thymus, which is right in the center. But you want to get that area. This is great. All the pollen, all the allergies, everything that's going on. You can drum it. Get the kids involved. Have some fun with it, just like that. Next breath in. Breath out. Then bring it around to the base of the spine. We come up and over the head. And don't jump ahead. I know some of you guys want to do the next one right away. And hopefully you've been doing it all along. It's under the eyes, right here. It's great for getting rid of wrinkles, keeping them from showing up on us. Gently. And then under the nose. And then control the other arm, bring it on, and on the chin, just like that. Awesome job, guys. Now, control, reach up. And we're going to start on the side of the arm, bring it down, armpit area. A lot of lymph nodes right there. We want to get things loosened up. And then bring it right down your side. So let's start at the wrist, come down the inside of the arm, get all that armpit area, and then right down the side. Control down, control up. And this is a great one again, you guys into the sports. And you get jabbed in the side with a stick or a helmet or whatever. If you're I don't want to say your body's more prepared, maybe, you're able to take that, go a little bit harder, or start off lightly brushing. Great. Shake that out and get the fingertips. We learned that the fingertips, that's sort of where the energy comes out of the body energetically, just like that. So there's a lot of points right there we want to wake up and get going, along as the side of the hand, just like that. And we get the wrists. All right, great. Shake that out a little bit. All right, let's talk a little bit about maybe a nice morning exercise where hopefully you had a good night's sleep, but before you just jump out of bed, just try to do some of those ankle rolls maybe. That's a good one to do, just nice and gentle, that flexing of the feet. And you could do some just gently, that squeeze and release with the hands. And just gently get the fingers and the wrist going. Just like that. Good. And then when you're ready, there's a morning Qigong whole set that I could show you, but there's 3 moves that I like to do 3 times in the morning. So we start out in what's called the mountain pose. And this is just a nice way to kind of gather your thoughts and just have that idea of you're going to just have nice, long, deep, controlled breathing. And then when you're ready, you step out. Just to be consistent, make the right foot the heavy foot and step out with the left and adjust. I see some other teachers on their videos and all that, and where they start out in the mountain pose and explain this, and then they step out, and that's it. Don't move. Well, I like to just adjust into it. Maybe it's just a morning thing, or during the day, anytime. I always have everybody just adjust into it. Feel, listen to your body, see what feels good. Maybe your stance should be wider, or maybe you bring it in. But a little bonus tip is somewhat of a pigeon toe. So if you can accomplish all that with one move and step out, I still did that little bit of a hip adjustment with it. But if you need to adjust the whole foot, that's fine, the whole way. Now, you want the palms facing down. And we're just going to bring them up overhead. When they get up and over, the wrists start to turn so the palms face each other. And they come right down the front. Don't lock them out. Remember that nice 70-30. And now we bring the arms up to that heart center we talked about. And nice little control push down. And now that pulling up. And just wrap it, give it away. Sending the energy out. Bring it back in to reload and down. So those are the 3 moves that we do 3 times. So it's up. And one of the sayings, again, you get to a deeper level where it's the mind or your thought moves the chi, and the chi moves the body. So I'm not thinking about moving my arms. I'm thinking about moving the chi, and the chi is moving the arms. And that might be a little deep for somebody to grasp that's new, or someone that's been doing it a long time or a while and you never heard that before. It's something to think about. It's Again, I'm always learning. I'm always trying to bring something new and show it to you, but not in an overwhelming form, a nice teaching format, I guess. So it's up. And the other thing that I use to think about is a French press. And I'm taking that energy and I'm just pushing it down through where it might be catching anything, a little stuck area. And I'm just pushing it right out of the body. So now when I bring the energy up into that heart center, very important center, and I'm doing a nice cleanse, pushing any stale energy out. Now when I bring that energy up, I'm able to give it away or just wrap it all around me with a nice protective bubble. Good. And we call this move Tiger Returns to the Mountain. And that's just a nice way to gather in when we finish. So those are 3 moves you could do 3 times in the morning. And I even like doing that one first thing. And then I might, again, this is my personal preference, and a little ringing the temple bell, and then some of the 500 claps. So if those are some of the things that interest you, let me know. If you didn't get a chance to write it down, shoot me an email, and I could, talk about it a little bit more, or send you. Some people like to have that printout in front of them. So if it's your writing, maybe you understand it, or you can put little stick figures on clap, like hands, legs, back, stomach, all that, and you'll again make it your own. Make your practice your own. Take a drink of water. Good. All right, let's go a little bit more. We'll do the some Qigong moves right now. So we start out in that horse stance. And the first move, it's called Tai Chi arms. And you'll see this in different, I'll call different names, but here's the form. And the basic for beginners, it's just arms are up to about shoulder level, that heart center level. And they come in, that's 70-30. I'm not overdoing the in, I'm not overdoing the up. Up, in, and then that down. So another way to think about this or practice this is if you were standing up against the wall and you just want to have your hand against the wall and drag it up, in and down. So it's good to practice that in that particular way. The other way to think about it is, if this works for you, the fingertips are like little rocket boosters. So they fire first. They're coming up. Now the wrist, that power center right here, that starts. Up, in. Now the elbows drop. Then the wrists, palms, fingers. So it's fingers, palms, wrists, elbows lift up a little bit, then the elbows drop, then the wrists, then the palms, then the fingers. So see if that helps. Fingers, palms, wrists, elbows. Elbows drop, wrists, palms, fingers. And if you notice, I didn't lock out. I kept that 70%. Just like when I brought it up here, the elbows were still down and relaxed. They weren't out. And I didn't go up too high. And I didn't come in too far. So it's up, in, and down. Now, circle around, gather the energy, and visualize. A lot of visualization happening here. We're taking that energy and we're rolling it up the spine. With a breath in, up and over, and down the front of the spine. Open up, gather more, up the back, over. Good. Gather. This time, take the energy and it's in the front. And think of it as a big oval. We're bringing it up and around. So we gather, bringing it up the front. Nice breath in. So up and roll. Good. Now gather it up, bring it into the heart center. And sending it out. Do our wax on, wax off. Reaching up, out, gather, and down. So get the arms, gather the energy, place it into the heart, send it out, circle around, send the energy up, and so it's a constant gathering and releasing. Gathering in, releasing. Gathering in, releasing. Gathering in, releasing. Now just rest your hands right over that Dantian center right here. And just, it's called packing the chi. We're just sending a energy thought, packing it in, building that chi so you have it in reserve. It's always right there. Great. Now we want to do what's called parting the waves, where it's, again, the basic is just that, remember that shifting, turning we did? And we're pushing. So we're pushing with both hands, not just the top one. And feel that bottom one guiding. Just push, push. Great. Take one hand, place it in front, not touching. The other hand is going to be palms down, but pulling up that energy across, palm facing away from you, sending it across and down. Bringing it up, and this time the palm faces in. So you could do some of that weight shifting on this one if you'd like. Shifting, turning, turn the palm, shifting, turning. Hand drops down, comes back up, comes across. Try both hands. So we place that hand over there, reaching up, across, palm faces outward, come across, down, reload, and palm facing in. So it's reaching up. If you wanted to shift and turn, drag it across, palm down, reload. And the last half is called wave hands like clouds. So this is reaching up, and this is called the leaf blows in the wind. It's across. However you want to visualize it, those are the last one. Reach up, over, come across, down, and wave. Then we go into what's called, it's called a peri, but it's sort of a This is the outside parry. So it's a block, but you're bringing it up in the bottom here. So it comes with it on the turn. So I'm turning and blocking. So it could be a block, or it could be like a backhander type move. 3, 2, 1, and then it's called an inside parry. You fold in, and you want to be smooth, rounded. Don't overextend. Keep that little reserve energy if you needed it. 3, 2, 1. Let's gather it in, just like that. And this one, it's, I guess, the bow and arrow, where you want to pigeon toe your feet out a little bit. You pull that bow or the string back, and you make 2 fingers out, or however you want to do it, okay? It's just that expanding the chest. And now you want to drop in with the knees. If that's as far as you can go, that's fine. If you can drop a little bit further, but keep the back straight. And then come up. And then cross in, 1, 2, 3. And pull back. Extend out. Keep the back straight. And come up. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. And remember the heart center we talked about. Let's pack some energy in there. You just pack it in. And see if you can feel that energetic field. If you feel it expanding out, that's great. Catch it, reset, push it back in. Feel it expand. Have that exchange. Good. And now we're going to do hand down, hand up. We reach up. And this one you can do more than 70-30. You can actually get a good stretch. It's called heaven and earth. So if you really want to get a good stretch, and then they meet palm to palm, basically at heart center. Switch. And you can do a side, a little bit of a side bend to that as you bring it in. So there's some variations, however you feel. You want to get the most out of your workout. Sometimes I just stay with this and I go internal, and it's really a mindful exercise. You get that nice visualization of stretching. Good, complete it. And now let's go into what's called the dragon looks behind. So we're pigeon toeing in just a little bit. And one hand's, I don't want to say pushes back, but it's firmly on the shoulder. And the other hand, palm facing out, and we look behind. Bring the arms all the way across. Again, on the shoulder, on the back. And it's the dragon looks behind. Good. And then we're going to go into what, it's the yin and yang symbol. So it's just like that. So it's separating. It's pushing out, pushing, and then feel that maybe like you're trying to turn like a big gear or something, and you grab onto it and you're turning. Grab on, turn with both hands. Good. Let's go into the white crane. So we're using that heavy foot, light foot theory. Light foot's out front. We're using the hand down, hand up. And just bring them across. 2, 3. We complete and switch. And all these take time to learn. Those of you that know it and you follow along in the class, we have, we're going to wrap it up here and give you some updates on some classes. So let's do that. The Northbridge Senior Center um, has, I don't want to say a new room, but the room's been done over, and it's some great energy up there. Um, they got fresh paint, and obviously the hardwood floors. Everything looks great up there, and that's the Monday morning Tai Chi class. We just started it up, so I know you guys, can start spreading the word and get up there. And it's really, if you're brand new to Tai Chi, you're brand new to the town, whatever it is, come up and check out that place. It's really everything that they offer there. They're starting to really open up and get back to the old way of doing things. So, and with some new improvements on it. But like I said, they're actually gutting out the kitchen, and they're gonna have once the kitchen gets done, it's gonna be awesome, and they'll be back having the gatherings and the meals and all that. So that's in the works. But the Tai Chi is back up and running Mondays at 11 o'clock. Get there maybe 10:45, just so you get familiar with the surroundings, and you can sign in and talk to the staff, talk to me. It's actually upstairs. If you have trouble getting upstairs, there's an elevator. We're going to cover all the bases for excuses. It's any age, any background. You just don't think you have to have knowledge of exercise or anything like that. We adjust everything to everybody benefits, and everybody learns from everybody. I tell you, to just be able to teach it and see the gratitude in people's faces. So it's Monday, the Northbridge Senior Center. Get there about 10:45. Classes at 11. So with that, I'm going to have one more drink before I say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and again, it's Tai Chi for you.